Good evening. Hope you've all been having a good weekend. Nice to see people in the chat appreciating our theme music, The Haunting of Carr Street by Hank Kaufman. And thanks to everybody for tuning in. This is, of course, Hoff's Public Domain Horrorfest. I'm your host, Hoff Matthews, and this is a live comedy show and horror movie screening series. We show a movie and we break it up with live comedy host segments like what you're seeing right now. We used to do this physically live in Brooklyn, and then the pandemic happened, so we converted the show into a live stream. And because we're online, in order to avoid copyright issues, we've been showing older classic horror movies that have fallen into the public domain. But I guess they're not all necessarily classic movies. Some of them are more obscure, like tonight's selection, The Sadist, from 1963, sometimes known as Sweet Baby Charlie, directed by James Landis, no relation, in case you were wondering. And this is a movie that I had known about it as a public domain horror movie for a while, but I never knew that much about it, and I think I sort of avoided looking into it, partly because it seemed like maybe it was kind of riding the line between horror and thriller, which I guess is sort of the case. But recently I finally did watch it, and it's definitely worth showing. I'm excited for you guys to see it. I will say, I think if you're a regular viewer of this show, and if you're not, welcome, thank you for joining us, but if you are a regular viewer, you've maybe gotten accustomed to seeing older movies that are kind of hokey, and cheesy. And this movie has a certain degree of that, but it's also pretty nasty. I would say genuinely suspenseful, even genuinely upsetting. So just be prepared that this will be maybe a somewhat more intense installment of Hoff's Public Domain Horrorfest than you're used to. At least compared to The Devil Bat, or whatever. The story of The Sadist follows 3 school teachers who get stranded at an isolated junkyard and held hostage by the titular sadist, Charlie Tibbs, and his girlfriend. Tibbs is played by Arch Hall Jr., and if anybody watching is a fan of Mystery Science Theater 3000, you might recognize Arch Hall Jr. from the movie EGA, which is kind of the actor equivalent of recognizing someone from the flyer behind the counter at a convenience store. But I would say Hall is he is good in this movie, although it's a little hard to gauge because his performance is very over the top in pretty much every way, including hair and makeup. And I want to speak specifically about his unibrow, because you can see it's very pronounced there. It's definitely an intentionally eye-catching, pun intended, choice for the character. And, I like the movie, but I also don't want us to be complicit in the stigmatization of unibrows. So we're going to take some time at the top of the show here to just talk about unibrows and their history. Now, the word unibrow is, of course, associated, or I should say derived. Oops. Oh, right. And that was the other thing I wanted to mention. Sorry. The unibrow for this character, it's so emblematic of his evil that it's basically shown under the entire opening credits of the film. So it's really emphasized very heavily. So again, the word unibrow is derived, of course, from the words juniper, as in the coniferous tree or shrub, and ow, as in, ow, I have hair on my face. It's often viewed negatively in our culture as something people might want to remove, so much so that this movie associates it with a sadistic serial killer. But that's not the case in every culture. In Tajikistan, the unibrow is considered a mark of beauty. That's why The Sadist is banned in Tajikistan, not because of the violence, but because there it's viewed as pornography. Oof, right? And there have been many notable figures throughout history who have had unibrows, including the Byzantine Empress Theodora from the 6th century. Theodora, by the way, is a really interesting figure she rose to the position of Empress after having been a comedic performer, which is sort of like if Jill Biden and Amy Schumer were the same person and had a unibrow. More recent famous people with unibrows include the artist Frida Kahlo and the NBA player Anthony Davis. And both of these people are sadistic serial killers, but they're also very talented. Today, we even have models like Sofia Hajipantelli who are reclaiming this look in the hopes that someday it might be people without unibrows who are stigmatized and shunned. And, just in case anybody thinks that I'm being mean here or making fun of people, this is a personal issue for me. I actually have a naturally occurring unibrow myself, as you can see in this picture of me from my teenage years. I do shave it, so I guess I'm a self-loathing unibrow haver, but we've prepared an artist's rendering of what it might look like if I let my unibrow grow out. And, that's a powerful look. That's really, I don't know, sound off in the chat. Let me know if you think this is something that I should pursue. All of that is just to say that I stand in solidarity with unibrows throughout the world, and I want you to enjoy the movie tonight, but I also just don't want it to influence your opinion of people with hair over the bridge of their nose. Because some of us are very nice and sexy. Sorry, Tajikistan, I'm taken. Okay. But we are about ready to get the movie started. I'm seeing yes in the chat to the unibrow. All right, we'll see what happens next show. I will tell you, as always, me and my co-producers Andrei Alupului and Bess Pritchett have added some stuff into the movie tonight. Not that much. Most of what you'll see will just be the original film, but here and there are a few Easter eggs we've dropped in, so keep an eye out for those. I will be back on in about 20 minutes, but for now, enjoy Act 1 of The Sadist.
I have been hurt by others, and I will hurt them. I will make them suffer like I have suffered.
The words of a sadist, one of the most disruptive elements in human society. To have complete mastery over another, to make him a helpless object, to humiliate him, to enslave, to inflict moral insanity on the innocent. That is his objective, his twisted pleasure.
Strange looking place.
What I thought, fuel pump.
How long you think it'll take you to fix?
It has to be replaced. Take about a half an hour if they have the part. should have one with all these wrecks around here. This back highway's good for time, but have car trouble and you got problems.
If it had to happen, I'm glad it happened where it did. And when it did. I didn't much relish the idea of being stuck in those mountains.
They were lucky. Another few miles, we'd have been in desert.
Is it what you thought, Mr. Stiles?
I'm afraid so.
Can we still make the game?
Well, we've got 40 miles to go. 12:01. Game doesn't start till 1:30. We can still make it if they have the part.
And if they don't?
It's plain stuck. If it wasn't Sunday, they could order one from Lancaster. We're the people that run this place. Hello?
You see when the player swats the ball.
Not swats the ball, Doris. Bats. The player bats the ball.
Yes, when the player bats the ball and it goes over the fence.
That's a home run.
Yes, I know, but if no one can make him out, why does he have to run around the bases?
Because he has to. That's the rules. He must touch every base. Would you like a Coke?
Oh, thank you.
Somebody could run off with the whole place, and the owner would never know it.
Coke, Ed?
Sure, thanks.
From the looks of things, nothing around here worth taking.
It's a wonder they get any business at all. Everything is so dirty and greasy.
All work isn't white-collar work, Miss Page. When I was in the Army, I had my fill of this, repairing tanks. This prim and proper should have known me then.
Doris Page is a sweet girl, Ed. And a good math teacher. A little on the prudish side, perhaps.
Boy, my phys ed class calls her Miss Ice Buckets.
Mr. Oliver, I think that is a silly rule. There is no reason why a man should have to run around the bases when they can't get him out.
Isn't that a woman for you? Never seen a baseball game, and already she's changing the rules.
You should go to a ball game with my wife.
But I still think that's a silly rule.
If we're ever going to see any baseball today, where's the guy that runs this place? Hey, what about some service? Hello?
They must be around here someplace. Doesn't seem likely they'd go away and leave everything wide open.
Perhaps they're round and back someplace.
Hey, anybody here? Hello? Hello? If the pump hasn't already been stripped off that Chevy, we might be in business. We got ourselves a fuel pump if it's any good.
Will that work on our car?
Take a few adjustments, but you get us to L.A. I'll borrow a few wrenches and we'll soon be out of here.
Mr. Stiles has many talents.
A fine young man. Be a lucky woman that hooks him.
Why, Mr. Oliver, I do believe you're playing Cupid again.
You're only young once, Miss Page.
Why, Mr. Oliver, you sound like an old man.
Well, 52 yesterday.
Well, I'd say you'd had a fine and full life. A nice home, a lovely wife, 2 handsome children.
Carl Jr. graduates from West Point in 2 weeks. Wife and I are going back for the graduation.
This guy really takes care of his tools.
I wonder where these people are.
I'll look around and see if I can find it, somebody.
I don't want to shock you, Miss Page, but I'd rather not get my shirt dirty.
Oh, really, Mr. Stiles, I'm not that stuffy.
I don't know. I taught at the same school for over a year, and it's still Miss Page and Mr. Stiles. I do think Ed and Doris would sound a lot better.
From now on, it shall be Ed and Doris.
Just a snakeskin they shed this time of year.
I can't stand snakes.
Most people can't. Part of the country's loaded with them. Big ones. I hear they get to be as much as 9 feet long.
Well, I was certainly wrong, wasn't I?
Hello? Hello? Anybody here? Hello? Hello? Doris? Ed? Hello? Hello?
You never know he's the same history teacher from old Lancaster High. He really cuts loose. Today he'll really be in his glory with his red flame.
I know. Edna told me last night that he hadn't seen them play since they left Cincinnati. She said ever since he got the tickets,
There's something going on here that just isn't right. Settings for 4 at the kitchen table, 2 plates eaten from and 2 plates untouched. Pie still warm. Except for a cat, there's not a sign of life. The sooner we get out of here, the better off I'll feel.
Just keep working, mister. Because you're going to fix your car just like you intended.
Young man, you have no right to take our car.
Shut up.
What if I don't fix it?
You'll fix it all right, mister. You better not take too long, either.
Supposing I get it fixed, what happens then?
Me and my girl go away. Won't bother you.
How do we know you'll keep your word?
Looks like you're just going to have to take it. Ain't you, mister? Give me your wallet.
There's not much, but you're welcome to it. Well, we're only school teachers, young man.
You hear that, Judy? We're only school teachers. We don't like school teachers. Do we, Judy? Teachers think they're so much smarter than everybody else.
You have our money. Isn't that enough? What else do you want?
Just keep working, mister. Teachers used to call Judy dumb. Make fun of her. Send her home from school crying.
You're a pretty good sized boy. I wonder how tough you'd be without that gun.
Ooh, you're one of them real big talkers, ain't you, mister? All right, big talker. Hand over your wallet. Come on! Pick it up.
You pick it up.
You a real big man in front of your lady friend. But I'm gonna show her just how big you really are.
Put down that gun and I'll show you how big you are.
I'm giving you 3 seconds, mister, to do what I say. I'm saying you pick up that wallet. 1, 2.
Please do as he says.
You put it on the fender. Or do you want the gun, huh? You want the gun? on the fender. Big man, huh? I guess you got showed how big you really was. Start working.
I told you guys. I don't want to make anyone self-conscious, but the Sadist showed up and the chat got real quiet for a while there. Because he's scary. I don't like him, frankly. I don't like the Sadist. If he were here right now, I'd give him a piece of my mind. I'll tell you that much. But, again, I do think it's a well-made film. And that's... Oh, and by the way, someone texted me after the intro to let me know that I have something shiny underneath my nose. That is just scar tissue from an old bicycle accident. I think you can see it more because of the candle placement. Just was concerned that maybe everyone watching the show was like, oh, he doesn't realize he has some stuff on his face. No, it's just a natural part of my beauty, like my unibrow. But anyway, this was shot by the cinematographer Vilmos Zsigmond, credited here, I think, as William Zsigmond, who went on to work with some of Hollywood's best filmmakers. He also shot Close Encounters of the Third Kind, The Deer Hunter, and in a 2000s return to his gritty indie roots, Kevin Smith's Jersey Girl. So there's a lot of good camera work in this movie. I think some of the most memorable moments are when the camera assumes the point of view of the killer as he's pointing a gun at his victims. And if the composition of that image looks familiar to you, that's probably because it foreshadows what we would get decades later in first-person shooter video games. What you might not know is that The Sadist actually got its own ill-advised FPS video game adaptation in the 90s on the N64 console. It wasn't very popular, didn't sell very well, and the people who did buy it found it so upsetting that it became a centerpiece of congressional investigations into violence in video games. It's very hard to find now, but we've managed to dig up a clip from the gameplay, so I'm going to show you real quick a clip from the Sadist video game. Yeah, not a very good game, as you can see. Although the arcade version is still popular with bar owners across the country. You can find it in a lot of bars because apparently players generally step away from it really needing a drink. So, a little trivia about the film for you there. And now, let's see some more of the movie.
May I get some water? This poor man is being blinded by his own blood. Don't you even have the decency to let me care for this man? What kind of a person are you? Do you enjoy hurting others, seeing them in pain? How can you be so inhuman? Oh, Mr. Oliver.
How is he?
He says he's all right, but I know it must hurt. The gash in his cheek isn't too bad, but the cut over his eye, it won't stop bleeding. I'm afraid he might bleed to death.
Now, Doris. It can't be that bad.
Where do you think you're going?
This man needs help, and he's going to get it if you want this car fixed. He's going to be all right, Doris. You're lucky, Carl. A little more to the right, you wouldn't be here. If we can get you some water and in the shade, we can stop the bleeding. What about letting this man get in the shade?
How can you be so cruel?
You get back in that car, he won't be needing nothing.
Oh, by all means, enjoy your lovemaking. But the least you can do is allow a suffering man a little water. Carrying on like that when you're no more than an animal. You get your dirty hands off me.
You leave her alone if you want the car fixed.
And he won't fix it unless you let us get some water.
There's a pump by the house.
You get working in that car, mister. And you. Go ahead.
Shoot if they move, Judy. If I hear a shot, your girlfriend is dead. Don't get no ideas. Judy don't know how to use a gun.
I wonder why he changed his mind. Ed, I don't like this.
I know something else you won't like, Carl. Remember reading last week about those brutal killings in Arizona?
let me by? Why are you putting us through this torture? You have our money and you're taking our car. Isn't that enough?
You keep your dirty hands off me. You think you're so much better than me. You kind of all think that way. You called me inhuman.
All right, I apologize. I shouldn't have said that. Now, will you let me go?
You called me an animal.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry I said those things. Now, can I go?
You're sorry, but you still think it. You think I'm dirt. You think Judy's dirt. You'll always think it till you don't think no more. Your kind means nothing. You hear? Nothing. Why don't you scream? Maybe the big talker will come and help you. Maybe Miss Goody Good still thinks she's so much better than me. Does it feel to be touched by dirt? Huh? Goody Good don't like it. Taste it! Taste it! Eat the dirt. Taste it! Miss Goody Good don't think she's so much now, does she? She don't mind being touched by dirt. Get moving!
What did he do to you, child?
It's all right, Mr. Oliver. It's all right.
Get back to work.
You want that car fixed? You can do it yourself.
Starting to be the big man again, huh?
You're the big man, Tibbs. That's the name, isn't it? Charlie Tibbs? The big man who killed 7 people? Made them get on their knees and shot them in the head? Paper calls you a thrill killer. It must be a real thrill to wipe out a family of 5. How many thrills have you had since you left Arizona? What about the people here? Did you kill them too?
How long do you think you can keep getting away with this, son? The law's bound to catch up with you sooner or later.
And the law has ways of handling murderers.
Please don't antagonize him anymore.
What's going to happen to you?
If anybody opens their mouth again, I'll blow their brains out! Now listen, big man, you get back to fixing that car, you're gonna be a big dead man fast. All of a sudden, everybody's becoming the big talker. Getting kind of brave. Nobody wants to talk no more, Judy.
I'm gonna get my goodie bag.
Judy! Give me a soda! Just a little target practice.
I'm gonna shake the bottle up there and get my
Mr. Oliver, they're going to do something terrible. I just know it.
You. Get up. Over there.
What are you gonna do?
Shut up. Move! That's far enough. Down on your knees. On your knees. Seeing as how you like to talk, go ahead and talk.
Talk all you want. As soon as I finish this, you're gonna be through talking.
School'll be out for you, teacher. Better start talking, mister. The time's running out.
You can't shoot me like this for no reason. For nothing. Surely blowing my head off can't give you a thrill.
Is it money you need? I have close to $2,300 in the bank. Tomorrow you can call my wife. She'll give it to you, all of it. You and your girlfriend can have a lot of fun on $2,300.
He sure is talking a lot different than he did a while ago. Ain't he, Judy?
You have a father, don't you? Would you want someone doing this to him? Think of your own father in my place. Or yours.
Save your breath on her, mister. I'm the only thing in the world she has. Her old man's dead, and her old lady's a drunk.
Young lady, can't you realize this is wrong? You love him, don't you? You know what it is to be around someone you love and who loves you? I have loved ones, too. A daughter a little older than you, and a son about his age. Please, I beg of you, talk to your boyfriend. Tell him this is wrong. Tell him, please. My God, child, haven't you any feelings at all? Can't you understand?
Look at him squirm, Judy. They all alike, ain't they? Yellow when they go.
You just can't wipe out a man's life like this. Not like this.
You just can't stand here and watch.
Ed, you can't let him do this. Maybe he'll listen to you. Talk to him. Ed, talk to him.
Ed, Seymour, do something. Somebody do something. Tell him you won't fix the car. Don't let him do it.
If you want the car fixed,
Maybe the big man wants to take your place. If he says one more word, he will.
What about it, big man? You feel like talking?
Maybe Miss Goodgood wants to take his place. I guess nobody wants to take your place, mister. School's out, teacher.
no, no, please. Ed, Miss Page.
You monster! You monster!
Doris!
Dirt!
Shut up!
Shut up yourself!
Doris, get control of yourself.
No, you coward!
Doris!
Don't touch me!
Doris, you're gonna get us both shot.
I don't care. Why don't you go ahead and shoot? Go on, shoot. Go on, shoot. I don't care.
In another couple of minutes, I'll have the pump out.
Shut up.
It won't take very long to put it in the other car.
I said shut up.
You're gonna need that car now, and I'm the only one that can fix it.
I ain't waiting too long.
Judy, go get me a soda. And that pie, too.
How's everybody doing? People holding up all right? I told you, it's, you know, bit of a rough experience, this movie, but, you know, we're in this together, and we're gonna get through it. You know, we can step away from the torture and murder for a moment and maybe focus a little on the form of the film. So one thing that's really striking to me about this movie is that I don't think I've ever seen another film where so much of it and so many moments of tension focus on a bottle of soda being consumed. And not just any bottle of soda, but a bottle of knee-high cola with the label turned towards the camera. And that is knee-high. I know some people in the chat were talking about Coke. They look like Coke bottles, but they are knee-high. I think it's knee-high. It's the soda spelled N-E-H-I. I've never encountered it in the wild. I don't know if they make it anymore. I'm assuming it's like knee-high, like I was drinking this since I was a knee-high, but that's what I'm going to call it anyway. And again, people in the chat kind of touched on this, but we were theorizing that The Sadist might be a very early example of sponsored content. And you might ask, why would the Knee-High Corporation want to sponsor this movie? But maybe they wanted to capitalize on the B-movie craze of the era, and maybe they figured that a movie like this is at least going to be memorable for the audiences who see it. And, you know, there really is a long history of this sort of thing. Robert Flaherty, the director of the so-called first documentary, Nanook of the North, also made a film called Louisiana Story, which was financed by the Standard Oil Company for the purpose of encouraging drilling in the Louisiana area. That's true. That's totally true. And just as true is that the film American Pie was, of course, completely financed by Sara Lee. And there's a history of this even within the horror genre specifically. And studies have shown that audiences tend to make positive associations with brands that they see in moments of fear and anxiety because that imagery can be comforting to them. So even Stanley Kubrick wasn't above accepting sponsorship from Heinz when he made his movie The Shining. Heinz sponsored the film, provided all the on-set craft services, and that contributed to the intensity of the lead performances because they all had to subsist entirely on Heinz soup throughout the entire shoot. John Carpenter's They Live, which we showed on the physical version of HorrorFest way back in 2019, is thought of as an anti-consumerist classic, and it's not at all tainted by its close association with Ray-Bans. You can ban mind control rays, but you can't ban ads, right? I'll give you another example. Here's a totally unaltered clip from the original Nightmare on Elm Street. Take a look.
Searching for desire. Searching for a living dream. Is it you? Come to me. Come to me. I'll never let you go. Never let me go. Never let me go. Nightmare by Chanel.
We didn't make any changes to that. It's amazing how much the sponsored elements jump out at you when you're looking for them. You know, that was a luxury brand, of course, but obscure or indie horror movies also need sponsorship, and sometimes they can't be as discriminating. So here's another clip, this time from the 80s cult classic Society. Video glitch kind of gave away the punchline on that one, but you get the point. Think outside the bun, right? Just goes to show sponsorship makes the cinema world go round. Even Hoff's HorrorFest has a sponsor. So, as always, thank you to Satan for all you've bestowed upon us, and thank you for everything you do until the fires of hell consume us. And now, it's time for me to go back to doing Satan's work by showing you more of this evil movie. So, here we go.
How will anybody be able to tell his son's graduation?
Doris, believe me, I feel as badly as you. He's dead. Nothing can bring him back. We're alive. We've got to think of ourselves now. Do you think I wanted to stand there and watch him die? What could I do? What could anyone have done? You can't reason with that kid. He wants blood, Doris, and nobody's going to talk him out of it. Don't you understand what we're dealing with? He's a psycho, Doris. Well, should I have taken his place? Would that have made you feel better? What would you be saying to Carl if it was me lying over there? Pump's out.
All right, put it near the car.
Forget it.
I feel so ashamed of acting the way I did. There was nothing we could do. Why don't we just run? The highway is only a few yards from here.
He cut us down before we got 5 feet.
I'll die running before I get on my knees like... I can still see him drinking that. Maybe a car will come by and stop.
Sure, Doris, maybe a car will pull in.
Supposing a car does pull in, they won't know. He'll kill them and us too. The police. Maybe the police will pass by. They do patrol this highway. They will, Ed. They will.
Sure they will.
We must find a way to make them stop, Ed.
Doris, miracles do happen, but you can't count on them.
I'm sorry.
Now listen, I'm going to try to find out how many more shots he has left, or if he has reloaded or not.
But how will we find out?
4 shots we know of. That leaves 4. He probably shot the people here, too. There must have been 2. Remember what Carl told us about the settings in the kitchen?
Yes. 2 plates eaten from, and 2 plates untouched.
Tibbs must have surprised them while they were eating. They were too frightened to eat while those 2 were stuffing themselves. If he shot them, that leaves 2 shots. Well, he certainly didn't walk here from Arizona. Maybe he shot someone else. And if he hasn't reloaded...
Go ahead and talk, mister. You talk all you want. You thinking somebody's gonna save you.
Why should I fix a car if you're gonna kill us anyhow?
You'll fix it. 'Cause that lets you live a little longer. Like back there. I knew you was stalling. If you'd want to fix a car, you'd die right now.
You want this car, Tibbs? Who are you fooling? Oh, you can kill us, but you'll be stranded.
That's a road, ain't it? Well, there's a road, there's cars. Somebody will pick us up. They always have.
Is that how you got here from Arizona?
The sailor picked us up.
How far do you take you?
Thought he was a real lover, huh, Judy?
Suppose you shot him too.
Nah, I just cut his throat.
Why haven't you still got his car?
Run out of gas last night. You sure asking a lot of questions, mister. But you go ahead and ask all you want.
How did you get here?
A farmer picked us up. His old crate broke down up the road a piece. Too bad. I was beginning to like that old codger.
Shoot him too?
He sure prayed when he went, Judy. Remember? He reached for the sky and talked to the Lordy Lord.
Then you shot him?
Yeah. Right between the eyes.
What about the two people you shot here? Did they pray too?
You must think I'm dumb, mister. Don't know nothing. You're counting bullets. Count all you want. I can count too. You know I only fired 7 shots. Only got 1 bullet left. Unless I reloaded. How many bullets do I have left? Come on, come on! You're the big man! Come on, the 1 bullet's gone! Come on, maybe the gun's empty. Come on, mister, I'm giving you a chance! Come on, big man! Come on, mister! Come get the gun! What's the matter? You afraid? You had a chance, mister. You should have taken it. You ain't gonna get no more. See how yellow they are, Judy? They're afraid of an empty gun. Big man. Big talker.
They're getting ready to do something.
You.
hostiles. I told you they would. They will stop. They will. They will. They're coming after him. They're coming after you. You hear me? You're not going to kill anymore.
Doris! Getting back! Get back or I'll kill you right now. Do as I say! Move! Over there! Lie down! Lie down!
Stop it.
Get up! Hurry up! It must be the police. You get in that trunk. Get in there! I'll blow your brains out! One noise when your lady friend dies. Keep her out of sight. She makes one noise. You slit her throat. Hi.
Hello, son.
Sure a scorcher.
Sure is.
Don't recall having seen you around here before, son.
A friend of the family.
Just talked to Milt's son in town about an hour ago. Funny, being the talker he is, didn't mention anything about visitors.
He just left before I got in.
Lancaster, huh?
Yeah. Been working on the car. Fuel pump trouble.
Mine went out only last week. You know, Jim, it cost over $30 to get it fixed. Boy, what a crook that guy was. Look, somebody lost a .45 clip.
Where's Milt?
Back someplace.
Well, you can get more parts out of a car than a factory put in it.
Yeah, you sure can.
Get out. I told you to keep quiet. Should've known what I told you. Get moving. I told you nobody could help you.
You're gonna have every officer in California looking for you.
They don't scare me. Nobody scares me. I'm gonna give you a choice, big man. You die now, or you fix that car. I'll give you 15 minutes to fix it.
Why should I fix it? You'll only kill us when I get done.
I'm giving you 15 more minutes of life, mister. If you don't want it, I'll blow your head off right now. There is two. It's 1 o'clock. You got until 1:15. You start working.
All right. Yeah, sorry about those image quality issues. But hey, speaking of things that make the movie hard to watch, how about that Sadist, huh? That's the thing about this movie. Very well made, but the character is just so intentionally loathsome and repulsive. So I figured, we're a little more than halfway through the movie now. It would be a good time to just take a break and spend some time with a nice person. Someone who can be kind of a counterpoint to the central figure of this movie. So my co-producer, Bess Pritchett, connected us with her great uncle, who is a lifelong baker. She says just a really nice, sweet old man. And I figured let's bring him on as a live guest in the middle of the show so that, you can all get a little bit of relief from the Sadist. So I'm going to bring him on now, streaming live from... it's somewhere in Europe. I don't want to mispronounce it. But please welcome Bess's great uncle and lifelong baker, Hans Johann Smirnov. Hans, hello. You're on.
Hello.
Yeah, you're a little close to the camera. I think you need to sit back a little bit.
Oh, of course. Oh, excuse me. I will never get used to these things. Oh, hello.
Hello, no problem. Thank you so much for being on the show. Bess says you're a lifelong baker. You've been operating a shop in your hometown for over 40 years. Is that right?
Yes, that's right. Hello, darling. Hello. Oh, yes. It has been a wonderful life. I'm not quite as young as I used to be, but as the kids say, I've still got it.
Indeed you do, sir. Do you have any other hobbies outside of baking?
Oh, well, I love doing the crossword. I enjoy watching the Great British Baking Channel. And, I have a fascination with crime.
With cream?
Oh, no, crime. The bloodshed and the murder and the...
How did that come about?
You see, I was once just a lonely baker making the sweets and the pastries. I've been doing it since I was a little lamb. And one day, I read a story about a strange man who burglarized the local market. And he took only the blueberry pies. And I wondered to myself, is there a method to this madness?
Did you figure anything out?
I did. I spent 3 years of my life researching and traveling and really just peeling back the crust of the question, so to speak. And I wrote a book. It's called A Slice of Life. And the experience was just exhilarating and delicious. And you can find this book wherever books and pastries and knife sets are sold. And I even hear that some penitentiaries carry a copy in the kitchen. Imagine that.
Yeah, imagine that. Okay, can you share anything that you learned? Did you discover any trends?
As a matter of fact, I have. Let's see. Here we go. So, if you look at this pie chart, you will see that many criminals who suffer from an abusive parent often favor their fruit pies. You know, the strawberry rhubarb, the blueberry pies, and these are your sweet, gooey criminals like Richard Ramirez and Charles Manson. And over here, we have these more popular, more sociable criminals like Ted Bundy and John Wayne Gacy, they prefer a meringue pie, light and fluffy and very popular. Yes, we have some statistics here. And
What's that red slice in the middle?
oh, this little guy. Well, that's Jeffrey Dahmer and a few others. They prefer the meat pies.
Yeah, well, this has been interesting and somewhat surprising. Thank you so much for being on the show, Hans.
Oh, thank you so much.
And before I let you go, do you have a favorite pie?
Well, I will eat pretty much any kind of pie, as long as there's a ton of whipped cream.
Crime?
No, cream, the white fluffy stuff.
Cream. This time it was cream. Okay. Well, yes, thank you again, Hans, and you have a good night.
Good night.
Okay. Wasn't quite as wholesome as I was hoping it would be, but seems like a really nice guy. So, there you go. Hope that was refreshing for everybody. And now, let's see some more of the film.
Who'd ever believe something like this?
How could he shoot 2 officers? There were 2 of them. 2 of them.
Judy, give me that gun.
"15 minutes. What are we going to do?"
All units. Be on the alert for 2 Arizona murder suspects believed to be in California. Possibly driving a green 1958 Ford sedan, license number Mary Nora 46983. Suspects hitched a ride with the driver of this car, a sailor en route to San Diego. The sailor was found murdered 2 miles east of Needles, approximately 10:30 this date. Tibbs, Charles A., male Caucasian, age 20, light brown hair, blue eyes, height 6'1", weight approximately 180 pounds, fair complexion, wearing Levi jacket and pants when last seen. This suspect is armed and to be considered extremely dangerous. In company with suspect number 1 is Bradshaw, Judy, female Caucasian, age 18, black hair, blue eyes, height approximately 5'4", weight approximately 100 pounds, dark complexion, wearing a yellow flowered dress when last seen.
If only that radio call had come 2 minutes earlier.
We've got to do something.
Looks like we'll have to run for it. Wait a minute. Move closer. Get in front of me. I got an idea. It may not work, but at least it's a chance. It's obvious he doesn't know much about cars. Now look, when I get the pump in, I'll ask you to get in the car and start it. Leave it in neutral. I'll raise the motor from here. When I give you the first signal, I'll scratch my shoulder. When I do, you shift into drive and push down on the brake. Got that?
Yes.
give you the second signal, I'll wink. And hold on tight because I'll be pulling the gas pedal to the floorboard. I'm going to try to lure him in front of the car.
Oh, Dad.
It's just a chance. We might not hit him, but if we can at least startle him, it may give me the few seconds I need. Let's just pray this doesn't kick out on us.
What if it does?
Run for it.
What if it won't let me get in the car?
It's a chance we'll just have to take.
You got 11 minutes.
Doris? Damn it. I can't fix the car with you starting it.
This is Dick Woods bringing you music from Dodger Stadium as we do every Sunday preceding the ball game. Talking about baseball, those red-hot Cincinnati Reds are in town, riding a 9-game winning streak. It's going to be Bob Perky going for the Reds and Sandy Koufax for the Dodgers. It should be quite a pitcher's battle. There's still plenty of good seats to be had, so if you're not doing anything, come out to Dodger Stadium and see exciting National League baseball. It's a beautiful equal day for a ball game. Time is 1:10, still time to come on down. And now, stay tuned for Dodger Warm-Up.
If we could just get them away from the car long enough to...
Music. All those people. Laughing and yelling. So happy. Oh, Ed, I don't want to die. I don't want to die.
You're not going to die, Doris.
Minutes.
Doris, get in the car and start it so I can see if the pump holds pressure. Doris, get in the car and start it.
Just a minute.
You want the car to run, I want to live those extra few minutes.
Now I have to check the pump for pressure.
All right. But it better run good.
Start it up.
You ain't got much more time. 2 minutes. How does it feel when you're about to die?
Try it now.
I think you Yellow Belly. Yeah. One of them squirmers.
Get up. I said get out! Move. You must think I'm stupid. You're trying something.
You did something.
I did nothing.
It was running pretty good a few seconds ago. You must have did something.
Look, this pump has been in a wrecked car for who knows how long. Now, sometimes they get clogged and don't hold the pressure. I should take it out and clean it.
You ain't got time for that.
It's not holding pressure. It needs to be cleaned.
You're looking for time, ain't you?
It won't take very long.
You ain't taking nothing out! You think you're fooling me, don't you? Think I don't know nothing but cars, don't you? That thing right there, that's a carburetor. The car can't run unless there's gas in it. All you gotta do is prime it. Now, I seen that done, so you prime it. Well, go on, there's a gas pump over there.
Doris, get in the car and start it when I tell you to.
Nobody gets in that car but me.
If I'm gonna prime it, somebody has to pump the gas pedal.
Just never you mind. You just put that gas in that carburetor.
Finally, some good news, right? I got a little more good news for you. We're getting close to the end of the movie, and you know what that means. It is time for the Horror Host Highlight Reel. That's right. Anybody who doesn't know what the deal with this is, basically all the movies we show on the public domain version of this show, have been in the public domain for a long time, so a lot of people have hosted screenings of them before we came along on local television or the internet or wherever. So rather than pretending we're doing some unique thing here, which has never been done before, we like to pay tribute to the tradition we're a part of by putting together a montage of other horror hosts hosting the film of the night. So, without further ado, you can now see how other horror hosts dealt with the unusually dark material, let's say, of The Sadist.
Goody good don't like it.
Well, hello there.
Tonight we've got a really great movie for you. It's called The Sadist.
Our movie today is 1963's The Sadist.
The film that we're seeing today, The Sadist. 1963, The Sadist.
Tonight we have The Sadist.
1963's The Sadist.
The drive-in classic, The Sadist.
The Sadist.
The Sadist.
The Sadist.
This movie is one of the more, as I said earlier, underrated films. Not as many horror hosts have ran it.
Fairies.
Oh yeah, somebody stepped on a ferry.
This film is great because basically it's about a deranged guy.
Yeah, it genuinely feels like he... Ooh, geez, okay.
I would have to say that is grimy.
This movie is pushing more boundaries than I thought it would.
The star of our film is Arch Hall Jr.
Oh, Arch!
Really, Sluggo? He's such a bad guy in this one.
I don't care, Zoe. Love knows no boundaries.
I guess this guy, what's his name? Ark Hall Jr. Ark of the Covenant Hall Jr. He has been in a bunch of dumb movies.
If you've ever seen Ega or Wild Guitar, when you hear the name Arch Hall Jr., you kind of go,
Remember Arch Hall Jr.? Ega. Woo-hoo. Remember Ega? Ega. Okay.
Now, all we need is a big frying pan so we can all make bacon. Just kidding.
I had no desire whatsoever to see The Sadist. I have to confess that it really wasn't that bad.
I was actually shocked at how well made it was.
It was actually pretty enjoyable, I thought, for a kind of a low-grade B movie.
Yeah, they did a lot with very little.
I feel it was kind of ahead of its time, to be honest. It was.
Isn't this movie psychologically traumatizing?
I loved it.
We're going to enjoy the rest of The Sadist here on Midnight Chillers. Auf Wiedersehen.
And we are indeed going to enjoy the rest of The Sadist here on Hoff's Public Domain Horrorfest. So here it is, the thrilling conclusion of The Sadist.
outside corner. Fairly took. Ball 1, strike 1 to Fairly. Say, incidentally, there are lots of good seats here for you fans who enjoy the Dodgers and the Red Lakes. If you're close by, won't you come on down? You'll enjoy it here at Dodger Stadium. A gorgeous day, shirt sleeve crowd, everybody having a wonderful time. Okay, we're set to go. The bases loaded, bottom of the first inning. Ron Fairly up there. Perky, the great pitcher of the Red Lakes, set to go. He faces him. He has his sign. There's the windup. The pitch. Fairly belts it. Oh, what a smash. Frank Robinson is on his bicycle. He's going back. He turns and races toward the wall. Back he goes. Oh, it's a home run.
I do hope all of you enjoyed the movie. I don't know if enjoy is the right word for The Sadist, but I certainly hope you enjoyed the show. Thank you, as always, for tuning in. I have been your host, Hoff Matthews. My co-producers on this show are Andrei Alupului and Mary Bess Pritchett. And we will be back, let's say, February 26th. Sunday, February 26th at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Pencil that in on your calendar. I don't know what the movie will be yet, but if you want updates on this show, you can email us at hoffshorrorfest@gmail.com to join the email list. Or if after watching this movie you just need somebody to talk to, you can email us there. You can follow us on Instagram, follow me on Twitter, we're on Facebook, all that stuff. And yeah, thank you again, really, for tuning in and watching the show. It's always fun to do this with you guys. Have a good night, everyone.